Good afternoon. I am Dante J. Caballero, and I am the Swine Business Unit Manager of Ceva Animal Health Philippines. As you may know, our speaker this afternoon will be sharing about his expertise in Cevalang program or CLP. So what is CLP? CLP is an innovative approach to evaluate the presence, incidence, and impact of Mycoplasma and APP using an innovative methodology or diagnostic methodology. We in Ceva are eager to share the CLP, which is the gold standard in monitoring the Mycoplasma and APP incidents in the farm, through the expertise of our veterinary service manager, who has been championing the CLP for the past 7 years. Along with that, he was an awardee as the best Cevalang program specialist in Asia last 2017. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming our speaker for today. He's none other than Dr. Paul Manzano. Thank you.
Hello everyone! Today I'll be sharing to you the evolution of lung lesion scores in the Philippines from 2015 to 2022 using the Ceva Lung program or the CLP application. For the content of my presentation, I'll be talking about the Ceva Lung program, the lung lesion scoring methodology, the lung lesion scores in the Philippines, and lastly, the conclusion. So, what is Ceva Lung program? Ceva Lung program is an innovative approach to evaluate the presence, incidence, and impact of two major respiratory diseases, the Mycoplasma pneumoniae and the Actinobacillus pleuropneumoniae. In investigating respiratory diseases, there are four main parameters to be considered, such as farm data monitoring, farm audit, laboratory analysis, and slaughter check. During the farm monitoring, key performance indicators includes farrowing rate, litter size, pig sold per year, mortalities, and other parameters should be monitored by visiting to the farm and thoroughly recorded in a regular basis. Second is the farm audit, which encompasses clinical signs, vaccination and medication schedule, necropsy, and looking at the gross lesions. Third parameter is the laboratory analysis, which includes bacteriology, serology, PCR, and histopathology. Last parameter is the slaughter check. Ceva Animal Health made an application which efficiently record and stored the gathered data from the slaughtered pigs. The gathered data from this application can be viewed right after the slaughter check, in comparison with the traditional monitoring protocol, which is more laborious and time-consuming. This application minimizes the exposure of the farm to the transmissible diseases by lessening the movement of personnel coming in and out of the farm. Why lung lesion scoring? First, lung lesion scoring gives a good idea about the presence of key respiratory diseases, the Mycoplasma pneumoniae and APP. Second, it surveys the whole group, not just the sick or dead animals. Third, it can be repeated and compared with other farms. Fourth, it can be used to check on the efficacy of vaccination programs. Fourth is because of a very strong relation between the lung lesions at slaughter and ADG. What innovation does the Ceva Lung program brings? By using a digital tablet which is more rapid and hygienic than the other scoring methods, and these records were automatically synchronized and kept in a network base. For the mycoplasma-like lesions, lesions of the bronchopneumonia, cranioventral pleurisy, and scars were considered, and dorsocaudal pleurisy for APP-like lesions. In this slide, the photo shows how to approximately distinguish and demarcates the lung lobes as a preliminary guide in lung lesion scoring. This photo shows the different parts of the lungs to be considered in scoring bronchopneumonia. This is an illustration on how to score bronchopneumonia lesions using the modified MADEC scoring. The score ranges from 0 to 4, with 0 having no lesion and 4 having 75 to 100%. This is an actual photo showing the different scores for bronchopneumonia. A normal pig lung should be soft when touched, smooth texture, and pinkish in color. On the other hand, lungs with mycoplasma-like lesions are firm and dark in color. Another lesion to be monitored is the presence of scars, which is scored 0 for absence and 1 if scars are present. Presence of scars in the lungs indicates that an early infections occur and that the medication program was effective. Lastly is the cranial pleurisy scores. The presence of this lesion indicates that the pig has mycoplasma infection plus other viral and bacterial diseases. Another disease we monitor for lung lesion scoring is the APP. We scored it from 0 to 4. 0 score for absence of dorsocaudal pleurisy. Score of 2 if there is a monolateral focal lesions. Score of 3 if there is a bilateral lesion or extended monolateral lesions. Score of 4 if severely extended bilateral lesion. This actual photos shows the scores for dorsocaudal pleurisy, and these specimens were retrieved during on-field slaughter check. For score 4, another factor to be considered is the stripping of the diaphragmatic lobes. Stripping is the presence of a firm and extensive adhesion of the lung tissue that is left in the chest cavity of the pig. The Ceva lung program application is readily available in Google Play Store and Apple App Store. By doing lung lesion scoring, we gathered historical data from April 2015 to June 2022. This comprises of 705 batches of pigs with 29,996 lungs from different farms in the Philippines. During the course of almost 8 years, bronchopneumonia lesions in the slaughtered pigs ranges from 70% to 89%. This trend shows that a minimal to no improvement were seen in alleviating the said lesion in the course of almost 8 years. On the contrary, although dorsocaudal pleurisy from 2015 to 2019 have minimal improvement, a marked decrease of the said lesions were seen from 2020 onwards. For cranial pleurisy, from 2016 to 2019, a visible lower percentage was observed. However, it increases on the succeeding years. This means that Mycoplasma, along with other viral and bacterial diseases, increases from 2020 onwards. For the scar scores, there is no significant difference of scar lesions from 2016 to June of 2022. This means that there is no early infection of Mycoplasma in the early stage of pigs. According to Stroh and al., 1% of affected surface on lungs decreases ADG by 3.74 grams. Through the Ceva lung program application, ADG losses can be predicted by using the accumulated data. For the conclusion, based on the results, it is suggested that there is a high prevalence and extension of lung lesions in the finishing pigs attributed to enzootic pneumonia and Actinobacillus pleuropneumoniae in the Philippines from 2015 to June 2022. And though a high prevalence of lung lesions, there were some farms that achieved better lung lesion scores compared with the results, signifying that improvement is feasible. That's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.